Welcome to Garbage In, Garbage Out, the podcast where we unlearn what the world has taught us and embrace the truth of God's kingdom. I'm your host, Noxie, and I'm glad you're here. Hi, GIGO family. Today we're at episode 4, which is titled, Loyalty is Non-Negotiable. Today we'll be talking about the price of loyalty, unwavering faith in the world of betrayal. So this one was a bit uncomfortable because this one actually needs you to self-reflect. It needs you to have a conference with yourself, every bit and part of yourself. So we are reading, this is based in Proverbs 3, verse 3 to 5. And I'll be reading it in the NLT version, which says, "Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. Then you will find favor with both God and people, and you will earn a good reputation. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding." Praise the leading of his word. Amen. So here we find in Proverbs, firstly, verse 3, tells us to not let loyalty and kindness leave us. And I'd like to stress it because in a world where certain things have become normalized, unfaithfulness has become normalized. We'll use things such as entanglements and being involved with married people and adultery and multiple relationships, troubles, and all these things that have sort of become the norm for society. And yet we are making them an excuse for actually being loyal. So in a world where loyalty is often compromised, how do we stay true to God's call for unwavering faithfulness? Let's take it back to the Garden of Eden. So Adam and Eve in Genesis are given a command. They have everything. They literally have everything. They're given just one command. Do not eat of the tree that's in the midst of the garden. And that was a test of obedience, faith, and loyalty. However, their failure to actually take the command and live it out results in spiritual death. And this is this marks the first instance of betrayal on earth. That's how sin comes in. We become disloyal to God. However, the beauty of it is that we see that God remains true to his word. Even though Adam and Eve were disobedient, God forgave them, right? But he did not go on his word. The consequence of eating the tree of good and evil was that you will surely die. That was what was stated. God did not change that. They did surely die. And this demonstrates that God's loyalty and faithfulness is steadfast and non-negotiable. Just because God forgives us and we repent of our sin, it does not exempt us from the wages of sin. We are still liable for our disobedience. So when we look at God's covenants with everyone that he has had covenants with, starting with Noah, Abraham, and the works. God has always been faithful. He does not change. He's the God of yesterday, today, and always. He does not change like we do. He does not go against his word like we do. When we choose to be loyal to God, we enter into a relationship of trust and faithfulness with him. One that mirrors his unwavering commitment to us. When God made a covenant with Noah that he will never flood the earth, not now and not ever, and he gives the symbol of the rainbow that we still see today, till this very day, we still see the rainbow, which shows that God is faithful. He is loyal. He will never go against his word. So now, in the world, we've normalized disloyalty. In relationships, it's okay for people to have multiple partners, to cheat on their partners. We've normalized it in friendships where you're not being a good friend to your friend. Are you loyal to your people even though they are not in the room? And we also find ourselves not being loyal to ourselves. We exist on self-betrayal. We go against our own values, our own promises, and integrity. And all of this doesn't only affect the physical, the emotional, the psychological, but it also affects our spiritual well-being. In this day and age, honestly, loyalty comes at a price. I would say we are literally operating on the modern day Judas Iscariot. We are selling our loyalty. How much does your loyalty cost? Be it to yourself, where you put yourself in a compromising situation, where you lose your integrity, where you have to go against what you believe, where you have to go against your own values and morals in order to serve others. That is you being disloyal to yourself. So what more are we doing? If we are able to do that to ourselves, what more are we doing to God? What is the true cost of disloyalty? And how does it affect our relationship with God and others? Loyalty is built on trust. Now we have people with trust issues. It builds insecurities. It has shame. It has regret. There's nothing good that ever comes out from disloyalty. And the Bible actually stresses how loyalty is non-negotiable. Matthew 6 verse 24 says, "No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other." Loyalty to God is a clear choice that demands exclusivity. It is not a polygamous relationship, honey. We are not promoting polyandry. It is not a group effort. God demands exclusivity. It is Him and Him alone. Practically, when someone sells themselves short, right? Or you just over-devote yourself to a lot of things. Or like the popular saying that jack of all trades, but master of none. You can do everything, but you can only master one thing. You can only be a master of a certain thing. That is your trade. And that's how we want to juggle God. We want to be part of the world, have the world favor us, but also be part of God. But that's not how it works. That's giving lukewarm. It's either you're for God or you're not. There is no gray area in this situation. There is no blurred lines in this situation. Loyalty to God, it's either you're for me or you're not. And not only is it to God, it is also to other people. It is either you are for me or you're not. Some people get swayed when they're playing sports, If you're favoring a team blue, okay, I'll use Manchester, Man City and Man United. If you're a Man City fan and you're a heart-devoted Man City fan, even though Man City loses, you're still a fan. You're not going to now hop on the other side because now Man United is winning. Be heart devoted as people are devoted to soccer. where they do not swift or shift or just have this vagabond spirit? Can we learn loyalty? And the thing is that loyalty is now attached to favor. When we go to verse 4 of Proverbs 3, it says, "Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and men." When we are loyal to God, we not only please Him, but also earn the respect and trust of those around us. I mean, look at Noah again. God had regretted creating human beings because they were so evil. And He was ready to destroy them. But God finds favor in Noah. Why does God find favor in Noah? Because Noah was faithful. Noah finds favor with God because he is faithful. And Noah and his family are spared and are not destroyed with the flood. So as you're sitting on your own in your quiet time, reflect on your own loyalty. Is your loyalty based on unwavering faith? Or do you compromise your values for worldly gain? Loyalty is not just about being faithful to others, but it's about being true to God and oneself. Sometimes we think that we can fool God. Sometimes we think that, if I do this enough, then I'm good. But then part of me can still be in the world. You can't give God half your heart. You have to give Him all of them. And that happens because it is just, we battle with the world. We literally battle with the world. We battle with serving two masters. We try to divide our loyalty, but by dividing our loyalty, we end up being disloyal to God. And loyalty is a test of our faith and commitment to God's will. It is saying to God that not I, but your will be done in my life. It's easy to be swayed by the world's standards, but true loyalty requires us to stand firm in God's truth, even when it's unpopular, even when you're gonna get cancelled, even when you have to stand alone. Are you willing to stand up for what is right? Are you willing to stand up for your morals? Are you willing to stand up for God's kingdom, even when you have to stand alone? So this week, we don't really have practical advice to strengthen loyalty. It's more of a reflection. It's more of self-examination. It's more of you having a commitment to change and you actually picking a side. The only thing that we can do in this stage is to pray. It is beyond us. It is above us. We aren't able to do it on our own. So this week I give, two reflection points and just a prayer point as well. So examine your life and identify areas where loyalty may be compromised. Is it in your relationships, habits, beliefs that are causing you to stray away from God's path? And once you've identified all of those things, then I ask you to now commit to change. Make a commitment to strengthen your loyalty to God. This may look like making tough decisions, such as ending a toxic relationship or changing behaviors that do not align with God's will. We have to take those steps. So commit to that change. If you're saying that this is the problem that I found today, have an action plan on how you're actually going to overcome that problem. And my prayer point is that to pray to ask God for strength and wisdom to remain loyal to Him, to others, and to ourselves, even in the face of temptation. We are humans, The flesh is weak. And we need to pray for God's strength that even when we are at the brink of temptation, where we are through the storm that may lead us and test our loyalty, that we remain firm. Loyalty is a reflection of our relationship with God. When we are loyal, we mirror God's own faithfulness, and in return, we receive His favor and blessings. And also, we're not being loyal to God because we want favor. That now becomes a transaction. We are loyal to God because of who God is, and He is good, and He is faithful. Loyalty is not just a virtue. It is the foundation of trust and the key to favor with God and men. Let us strive to be unwavering in our faith and loyalty, just as God is unwavering in His love for us. God never changes. He's the same yesterday, today, and always. So let us strive, by all means, to be loyal. See you next week. Thank you for joining me today on Garbage In, Garbage Out, as we continue on this journey of unlearning the world's ways and embracing God's wisdom. Remember, what we allow into our hearts shapes our lives. If today's episode resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Let's keep growing together, one revelation at a time. Until next time, guard your heart, live with purpose, and let God's truth guide your every step. Stay blessed and see you in the next episode.